dad knew he loved a captive audience. I'm sure he's smiling down on everybody. I had the honor of spending time with my dad and going over his story. And this is what we came up with. Douglas Reuben Savala, Charlotte, Michigan, transitioned to his heavenly home on July 25th, 2016, after a courageous 3+ year battle with pancreatic cancer. Doug was born on December 18th, 1937 in Ishpeming, Michigan, to Reuben and Elaine Rice Savala. He attended high school at Livonia Clarenceville, Negaunee, and graduated from Houghton High School in 1955. He considered himself an alum of all three and attended class reunions for years. Institutions of higher education include LaSalle Extension University, IBM Programming School, and Lansing Community College. He also received an honorary doctorate from Boston University. He married the love of his life, Yvonne Rivers, on July 13, 1957, in Palmer, Michigan. They moved to Potterville, Michigan in 1959 when he was hired by the state of Michigan as a data processor. Doug had a successful career with the state of Michigan and retired as Director of Bureau and Field Services for the Secretary of State, serving in various capacities on the American Association of Motor Vehicle Administrators. Doug was instrumental in implementing the Commercial Driver's License Information System, a nationwide computer system that enables state driver licensing agencies to ensure that each commercial driver has only one driver's license and one complete driver record. CDLIS was established under the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act of 1986 and is based on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. In 1982, as regional president, he and Yvonne hosted the annual convention in Lansing. He was honored to be appointed by then Secretary of Transportation Elizabeth Dole to a National Committee on Driver's Licensing and Title Records. Doug was also involved in his community and served on the Potterville School Board, Little League coach, Lions Club, and Elks. For 28 years, he and Yvonne spent summers in the UP at their cottage on Bass Lake. Doug's career after retirement including planning for the next big hunt, whether it was at his farm or various locations that included Saskatchewan, Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming. Newfoundland was his favorite destination, with the River of No Return wilderness in Idaho being the most exotic. Of all the trophies displayed at their home, his favorite is the white-tailed deer taken on his farm in 1986 that holds a record in the Boone and Crockett record book. In 2015, he took home a spike-horn elk, antelope, and a white-tailed deer. And this was his trip to Montana. After a long recovery from surgery in February, he was able to participate in his final turkey hunt in April 2016. Even though he was successful, the turkey was the hardest hunt of his career. Survivors include his wife, Yvonne, children, Terry and Kim Walters, Rick and Pam, Cindy and George Marsh, and Sandy and Brad Boyce. 13 grandchildren, Lindsay, Troy, Brian, Michelle, Larissa, Stacy, Stephanie, Kyle, Robbie, Danielle, Tim, Chad, and Eric. 19 great-grandchildren, Heather, Kelton, Violet, Kyla, who was also born on Monday, July 25th, as Dad was passing. Kyla was coming into this world. Riley, Charlie, Owen, Elliot, Lincoln, Jackson, Kennedy, Paige, Anna, Logan, Landon, Caden, Colton, Sane, and Zoe. brother-in-law Jack Lukanen, sisters-in-law Norma Romo, Elsie Swardini, and Helen Rivers, nieces and nephews Christine, Barbara, Cheryl, Jack Jr., Denise, Dave, Valerie, Gary, and Sherry. Doug was predeceased by his parents, sister Nancy, and 3 brothers-in-law. The family extends sincere gratitude to Dr. Coy, Dr. Hampton, and their staffs for the exemplary care Doug received during his cancer journey, and Sparrow Home Hospice for the care and compassion extended to Doug and his family. When Dad wasn't able to make it out of bed Wednesday, June 29th, Mom called Kim and said, Dad needs help. Can you come down? So Kim went down to the house and helped Dad down the stairs to his room. I was in the shower, so I hurried up and went down there when I was out, and I sat on the stool in front of him and I said, what's your body telling you, Dad? And he said, the cancer is winning. And I said, well, Kim and I will come here this evening and we'll help you upstairs to your bed. And he said, I'm not going back there. And he said, oh, I'm sleeping on the couch. And Mom said, if you're sleeping down here, I'll be sleeping over there. And I said, you can't sleep on the couch. I said, and asked him, I said, if you choose to call hospice, they will bring everything that you need here in your room. And he said to me, gather all the information, what we need to do, and then come back this evening and present it to your mom and I, and we'll make a decision. So I got everything together, and after work I went down there and told them what needed to be done, that their doctor had to refer him to hospice, but then once they made that decision, that they would have them set up by the end of the day. And sure enough, when I got home from work, he was sitting in his room on his hospital bed with his clicker in front of his big screen TV, and he could see his wildlife outside. And from there, he had a lot of conversations with his family. I was there on Friday morning before I went to work, and I said, do you want me to call the kids and tell them what your decision has been? And he said, no, I want to call a family meeting. I want everybody to come here tomorrow at 4. So he called the family meeting, and we all arrived, and he told us what he expected of us and from us. And he said, I'm going to die with a smile on my face, and I expect you all to do it too. And I said, easier said than done, Dad. It was a privilege to be with him for the 3 weeks and 3 days that he was in the care of hospice. And I know that he is with his Heavenly Father in heaven, planning his next big hunt.